This week, episode 305 of Stogie Geeks. I am at the Havana Republic Cigar Company in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a little vacation. And Drew is ironically on the road over in Texas. We're going to talk a little bit about our sticks of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like here in South Florida for cigars. And Nick Jonas appears on the cover of Cigar Aficionado magazine, and I think that it's record-breaking. So you want to stay tuned, and it all starts right now on episode 305 of Stogie Geeks.
This is a Security Weekly production. Broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island, it's the show where cigars burn slow, ashes fall fast, and cocktails flow steady. It's the Stogie Geek Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. Joe and I are already silly.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Hozempa, a.k.a. Joe Hollywood, is here with me in studio.
I'm fired up.
And Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo.
Confidence. Confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air, thinking you're better than anyone else. It's walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone in the first place.
Welcome to Stogie Geeks episode 305. I am your host, Joe Hozempa. I am live from Havana Republic Cigars. I'm going to give you the address. It is 610 East Los Alice Boulevard over in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I want to say a special thanks to Juan Ruiz and his family. They are always great guests whenever I'm in town, and they extend the red carpet for sure. After this episode, we're doing a little lunch and hanging around the strip. It's such a fun place to be. If you are ever in Fort Lauderdale, you definitely got to check this place out. Awesome humidor selection. They have a wine rack on the wall. You know I like that. And they have live entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights. You can come check them out on the strip or like them on Instagram, Facebook, and follow me. I will post links when I get back into town on Monday. StogieGeeks.com/305. And of course, I am joined by Drew, who is also on the road. Drew, how's it going?
Good, Joe. Out here in East Texas, traveling on the roads, getting some work in. Got some training stuff going on, enjoying the weather. Looks like we're going to be expecting a little rain out here, but doing that, enjoying all the Cowboy fans talking about going to the Super Bowl already. So
hey, here we go. That's so awesome that you are at the stadium on a weekly basis, and we're going to be able to get our Cowboy updates for sure. I'm sure the two most hated teams in the NFL are Cowboys and Patriots. So I guess
Cowboys and Patriots.
I guess all the Stogie Geeks listeners are in good company. Drew, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. This is funny. As you know, and all the Stogie Geeks listeners know, all of my Stogie Geeks episodes are not scripted, right? The only ones I really prepare for are the ones that Paul are on, and those are sporadic. And the last time he was on, I didn't know he was coming on until the second episode. So, Drew, do you know the last time I was here, I actually interviewed someone in a vehicle like yourself, which I think is so awesome. Like, I think that's so cool that you're on the road, and I know that you're in different time zones and you're making this happen. So I definitely want to thank you for your time and appreciate that. Before we get into our sticks of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit about. I really didn't want to do a segment on this, but I think that this really needs to be highlighted. Okay, so I am reading from the Cigar Aficionado website, and it says, for the first post, let me start with this. Nick Jonas cover scores more than 1 million likes within the first 24 hours of Cigar Aficionado magazine. Now, as you know, being on Stogie Geeks with the podcast and all of that stuff, what happens is, when it comes to sponsorship and everything, everybody's trying to get into Cigar Aficionado. I get it, right? They have their spot, and it's a very big spot. But this has to be worth talking about, just highlighting, because the first post went up about 11 a.m. on Monday, and then the second post just after lunch. In less than 24 hours, they had over a combined million likes over on Instagram. And it's basically Nick Jonas is on the cover of Cigar Aficionado for the September-October issue. And, I kind of think that this is interesting, right? Because even on Jonas's page, it got liked 1.23 million times as well. And in the 27-year history of the magazine, no cover has drawn such social media attention. Now, let's highlight this. Nick Jonas turns 27 years old next week. He's the youngest person to ever be on the cover of the magazine, and this magazine debuted in the fall of 1992. Other stars that were, or actors that have been on there that have reached, I guess what they're saying, legendary status, was Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Michael Jordan, the basketball player. And so, what I think is pretty neat is that, he's 27 years old, he's young, he's the face of the cover. What are your thoughts on this? Because when this first came out, I really had mixed feelings, which if you follow me over on Twitter, or if you follow me on Facebook, I'm Joe Hozempa, JoeHozempa on Twitter. Joe Hozempa on Facebook there. And it's like, I kind of had mixed feelings about this. And then as my week progressed, I'm thinking a couple of things, but I want to get your thoughts on this first, Drew.
Yeah, for that to happen the way it did happen, the way it was rolled out, I mean, it was for us in the cigar industry, I feel that was a win-win situation all the way around. I mean, he's definitely got the followers and fans and things of that nature there, it was a nice photo, of him on the cover, with all his followers. It just broadens, and it lets you know, for those who don't smoke cigars, that you don't have to, they come from all walks of life. A lot of celebrities and a lot of people are the only ones that really get on these magazines, but it just gives us a very large, diverse field of exposure, and it lets you know that, for me anyways, it lets me know that there's more to this cigar industry than just people who want to downplay it and things of that nature. So that in my idea, that's the way I perceived it.
Yeah. I first looked at it like I don't know, like I pictured Jonas, obviously what he was first known for. He was in a boy band, and I was like, why are they doing that? But then I started to kind of like let it sit in, right? Within within my thoughts, and obviously I'm very scatterbrained for sure. And I'm like, wow, like I thought it was well played, but they're saying that it was the most successful cover since the birth of social media. So my take is this, right? If social media was alive and well, like it really was, say in the early 90s, when Michael Jordan or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Robert De Niro was 90s. There, I wonder if they would still get 1 million likes. I would venture to say yes. Like I would venture to say when you're looking at that. Now, also, growing up from a cigar pre-Stogie Geek, right? I was never kind of like intrigued of like, ooh, this person's on the cover of the magazine. I was always like, wow, I wonder what they smoke. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I guess that really means why, hey, I'm a true Stogie geek, right? So it's like, it's like, wow, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger's on the cover of the magazine. Okay, great, that's awesome. But like, what does he smoke? Like, is he out there? Is he rocking, $30 Gurkhas or Davidoffs, or is he into the boutique thing now? Because it kind of, that is where, a lot of the boutiques are kind of getting in on the shelf space. I wonder what he likes, and I hope that Cigar Aficionado dives into that like a little bit more, as opposed to what they've always kind of talked about, in my opinion, was like the lifestyle. And I know that Cigar Aficionado is a lifestyle magazine, but like, if you're a Stogie geek, I mean, wouldn't you want to be more intrigued as like, because think like, do they order online? Do they go to a shop? Do they get delivered? I don't know. Their consumer behavior is more appealing to me than their star appeal.
Yeah, and you know what? And we could put that out there. I mean, we should ask his fans to ask him, hey, what are you smoking? What are you enjoying about that smoking? Just, I mean, not really a review, but just to get that intrigue out there to us who do, who are a little bit more seasoned in that area, but for his followers as well. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to tell people to go smoke cigars, but talk about why, what it is you enjoy about that time. I know some of the celebrities that I do know, and I'm not going to name drop. They'll be, I'll ask them, hey, what are you smoking? And then they'll tell me, how they got to that cigar. They'll explain to me, what they like about it. And surprisingly, they don't always go to that higher echelon of cigar.
Sure.
In the humidor. They're just things that other friends of theirs have smoked and enjoyed, and so therefore they go ahead and go that route. And then quite a few of them have always told me it's kind of like a kid in the candy store. When you were a kid, you used to walk in and you see the Zabba-Dabbas, the Rocky Roads, the Snickers, but now as an adult, you're looking at all this cigar candy in front of you. You're like, oh man, they'll gravitate towards the wrapper. Myself, like when I started, it was the bands. I love the bands. I love the artwork.
Yep.
But yeah, they'll go into those general areas, when they walk into a humidor. It's pretty cool.
Right. That's awesome. Drew, if it's possible, could you just lower your mic just a scotch? That's all. If you can't, it's no worries. They'll fix it on the audio end. Yeah, I bet you maybe you and I are just looking way too deep into this, and maybe they're just like us, and their cigar tastes are all over the map, and they just love cigars and they love the lifestyle, and just leave it at that, But I wanted to just take a moment. I just wanted for us to kind of take a moment and kind of reflect on that, because like over 1 million views. I mean, I'm not thinking that like by all means like Nick Jonas is going to be the face of the industry at all. But I also think that them getting and he's also solo, because the Jonas Brothers are done now, and he's also doing his own acting thing, and he's out on his own, and ironically he's on the cover just before he's kicking off his tour in a couple of months or a couple of weeks. So I don't really follow, but that's what the article read. So Stogie Geeks, if you want to email me at joeh@stogiegeeks.com, I will forward all the emails. I will respond to you, and I will reply with Drew, and we can get the conversation going, and we can keep it going there. Or you can hit me up over on Twitter or Drew on Facebook and whatnot. And let us know your thoughts on this. Like I said, maybe we might be looking too deep into it. Maybe maybe 1 million views is common. I would like to see some of the other threads. I would venture to say that no matter what Cigar Aficionado post, they're probably close to 1 million likes anyway. And if they were to do like Michael Jordan now, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm quite sure, or especially Robert De Niro, I'm quite sure that they would get that many likes as well. But the fact that it was in 24 hours, I think it's just worth noting that social media is a huge presence and it's here to stay. And the dynamics of the cigar smoker is changing. I mean, but then again, if Jonas likes to hang out in a cigar lounge and sip his wine or whatever it is that he drinks and all of that stuff, hey man, welcome to the party, pal. That's all I gotta say. It's a good time, you know. It's just a good time sitting around smoking cigars and meeting new friends.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have it. So that's my take on it. If you, like I said, for you listeners, if you want to get in on that, you can just flash me an email and we will have that conversation going. And if we get enough activity on that, I will read your comments in the next episode and spend a little more time on that reflection. And if not, then we'll do some more interviews and move on. It's all good, right? So, Drew, what have you been smoking?
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to start it off. I'm going to kick it off with this, the AJ Fernandez, the Hoya de Monterrey Dark Sumatra. I guess I missed the first boat when it came out. But then in the IPCPR show, it was La Amistad. So I'm from what I read at Half Wheel and some of the other online information. Apparently, they have their own place now in Estelle. So they rebranded a little bit. Same tobacco, same. Everything's the same. It's just that it got rebranded, and it's now being done by some tostaderos over at in Estelle. I chose the Noche, which is a 6.5 by 52. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. I'm reading my notes.
It's all good.
My teleprompter is at home. Yeah. So, with that, good cigar, good burn. Man, I'm enjoying it. Matter of fact, I'm smoking another one right now, and I just smoked one last Saturday, and I must say, this is definitely one of the cigars that I truly recommend for a novice. You know, a big get something to eat, of course, beforehand, and then go enjoy the cigar. It is the Bitolas offered on this is going to be an espresso, a media noche, and then a noche. So that'll help you with sizes. It's 4.5 by 52 on the espresso. A little quicker cigar. If you're looking to burn 45 minutes or so, that's a cigar, Bitola, you definitely want to go to. If you're looking at something a little bit more in the medium range, an hour, you'll get the 5 3/4 by 54. If you're looking something to burn an hour and 15 minutes, you can go to 6.5 by 52, like I have. Retrospectively, pricing wise, $7.99 for the espresso to $8.99, $8.49 for the media noche, and then of course the noche that I'm smoking now, $8.59. I'm sorry, $9.59, up to $11 in your area.
Yep. Yeah.
Again, this cigar features an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. Sorry, guys, I'm in my mobile studio here. Binder is Connecticut broadleaf, filler Dominican, Honduran, Nicaraguan. So you got the triple play there. Of course, the origin of the cigar is Nicaragua, factory Tabaqueria Fernandez. So flavor-wise, man, espresso bean very much comes through. It has a little oily feel to the wrapper, which is not bad at all. You get a little woody, leather aromas, earth and cocoa powder. Once I prepared my cigar to light up, I took a good cold draw on it, and it had flavors of chocolate, cocoa, red pepper. So on the retro hell, hail, you definitely get the peppery coming through very nicely. You get a ton of cedar, red pepper up front, woody and spicy, as I said, sweetness, and a toast, roasted, kind of a roasted nuttiness, and then you start to get a little bit of a mineral as well in there.
Yeah.
And again,
Did it burn
I would say
slow?
this is a full to
I find those to be
a
like
medium to full.
what? I'm sorry. Medium to full, Drew?
Yeah, medium to full.
Yep.
And like I said, with the oily, just comes in very nice, very nice. You definitely increase the sweetness, and the sweetness of the cocoa later on. But
Nice.
definitely, man, I love this
Yeah.
cigar. I'm in love with it. I will fight Chuck Norris all day long for these, and
Really?
I will win.
Wow. Yeah, I found those to be really, really packed, and they burn slow. So when you're gonna try it, just make sure that you have a little bit more time on your hands. You know what I mean? But it's a very enjoyable stick for sure. I'm gonna have to retry that one because I don't know if I would quite go myself with Fight Chuck Norris, but now you piqued my interest again. So I will stay tuned for that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the construction and value on that, you just can't beat it for one of those cigars that you don't mind keeping in a rotation.
Yep.
And for me, it's been excellent. So yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. I had hold on. Now I gotta where am I? Right. I had the Millennic by Foundation Cigar Company. This stick used to be available for events if you bought a box or if you knew the rep or however the shop did it and whatnot. This is a soft pressed petite robusto. It's got a pigtail on it. The size is 4.5 by 52. It's rolled with a Criollo 99 binder from Nicaragua, Jalapa, Nicaragua, and got it's got a mix of Nicaraguan tobaccos from Esteli, and it's got a an oily wrapper from San Andreas, Mexico. It comes in a 12 count box. Like I said, it's got a pigtail on it. Construction on the stick is super awesome. It was named after the first emperor of Ethiopia. It's got a little bit of a kind of, who has believed to be the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. So it's got a little bit of history there, got a little bit of heritage when it comes to the name and whatnot. But let me tell you something. This stick does not disappoint. This is going to be available on a limited basis. I'm assuming that it might go into full production. See, Foundations can be a little bit of small, and how he runs his stuff usually starts with some of the limited, and then it kicks into to full production. But if you can get your hands on this stick, it's in that $13 price range. It is what it is. But let me tell you something. You get classic Nicaraguan tobacco flavor, and you get classic burn. You get that pepper. Retrohale is amazing. I'm not a fan of a box press, even if it's a soft box press. I just don't like the way it feels in my hand. However, I am getting past that. But I would give this a box split with a friend just because of the journey aspect of this. A Stogie Geek listener might have to seek these out if they really wanted to get into them. I'm sure that they're on limited with some shops and all of that stuff who obviously have to have a certain level of having the Foundation Cigar Company in their regular rotation in the humidor. But they are available next door over at the Havana Cigar Club. So if you are a Stogie Geek listener and you want them to ship them to you, you can email me at joe@stogiegeeks.com and I can get your hands to speak to the right person if you don't want to continue searching or whichever, or if you want to throw it into search, go for it. But I would give it a box split with a friend because, like I said, it comes in a 12 count box. It won't break the bank, and it'll be a good story for you to share with a friend. And that was the Millennic by Foundation Cigar Company.
Nice.
Your next pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try that out. I think I got my hands on one of those recently from a friend of mine who sent me some stuff. So I'll
Super cool
definitely have to
stick.
go through
It's got a
that
lot of
and
buzz. It's
check
got a
that
lot
out.
of buzz. So, Foundation Cigar Company is well represented here in the Northeast. So, yeah.
Nice.
What's your next one?
Okay. So my next one, I'm gonna kick it off to is it's called Blue and Green Grand Robusto. Robusto.
Oh,
So a friend of mine sent these to me. I don't have them here in Texas, or at least I maybe not here in uh, if DFW, Dallas, uh, Fort Worth area. So he sent these to me. This is a wrapper, Connecticut, a binder, Nicaragua, filler, Nicaragua, uh, Tabacaleria Unidas in Honduras. It is a regular production cigar. It's a Vitola of 6x54 Toro. Price point on this one is about 10 to 13 bucks, just depends on where you're at. Uh, so I went and researched this, and I believe they went through again another revamp. It was first introduced 2018 IPCPR golden bands holding a cedar cover in its place, now adorn the genuine Connecticut shade wrapper. The appearance on this simple yet elegant. The design, you know, in case you guys don't know, Stogie Geeks listeners don't know. So my name, Andrew, the bandman Galvan. The reason why I put that as my moniker, the bandman, I really love the bands. When I look at bands, I just look at the artwork. I like to look at the fonts. I just love the touches that went into the thought behind the cigar, or all cigars. So to me, that just shows you how much pride it was taken by the manufacturer, the thoughts and things of that nature. Uh, so this the wrapper has some visible vines. It's almost absent of oil. Uh, so it doesn't always look impressive, but man, it starts off in a positive way. And here we go. So, uh, so this cigar at first when I lit it, uh, the pepper again, the pepper is very, 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 very noticeable. Um, and I think the reason why my buddy sent this to me is because I like pepper, especially on the retro inhale. Uh, so I love that. Um, the uh, the aroma, the aroma off the foot, pepper is very noticeable. Um, there's a sweetness that comes through in more of uh, uh, in a like a herb. So herb,
okay.
you get a herb taste coming through there. I could so the draw brings
Is it
in
like
a copious amount of smoke, but not too dense.
yeah?
Yeah, you cut it. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were
Yep.
saying something because I lost you for a second. Uh, uh, but again, the profile in this cigar is it's a medium full. Uh, the flavors you get out of this is at the beginning, like I said, is red pepper. Then you get a little bit of floral. Then you come back on the second, third with citrus, and then you get this sweetness of an herb that comes through. And the smoke time on this cigar was about an hour and 30 minutes. So it was.
Mm.
I paired it with a light roast coffee. At the time I was smoking it, I think it was about 11 p.m. And so I was up late doing some work, and I don't know a lot about the cigar, but man, just wanted to share this with the Stogie Geek listener. If you have it in your area, man, check it out. The Retro Hell produces a long-lasting aroma of again of red pepper, constant floral citrus. The body of the cigar does increase slightly. The body of the cigar does increase slightly towards the end with a medium finish. Uh, but on this one, I think I'd give it a try one, and let
Okay.
us know what you think about that.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll coordinate a mailing and crisscross some of the sticks that you try and some of the sticks
Yeah.
that we recommend and all of that stuff there too. So yeah, so you gave it a try one. That's good. I have one quick question on that herbal. It's not like like a acid herbal incense thing. What can you elaborate just a little bit more on that herbal? Like, where do you think that's coming from?
I want to say it was. I want to say between like a maybe like a basil. I'm not quite sure, but it's
Okay,
just
yeah,
right there. A little bit. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't very acidity or anything like that. It was just something different, and I'm not sure if that's because of the uh, you know uh, of the region. I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know a lot
yeah.
about the cigar, but
Definitely make a
um,
note for
yeah,
yourself to put that in mind. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, definitely make a note for yourself to
yeah,
put that
yeah,
into my swag bag because I'm intrigued by that. I wonder if it kind of
yeah,
tastes like the Atabey by United because the Atabey by United cigar company has a freshness to it. I don't know if you ever had one. If you
yes.
didn't, you know what I mean.
I
It's just really tough to describe, and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
like totally different. So I love when we come across a blend that's like totally different and kind of stumps us a little bit when we're trying to articulate some of the reviews. So for that alone, it's standing out for me for
right.
sure. Awesome. I had the My
Oh,
Father
definitely.
La Promesa, right? Which is this, I mean,
Mm,
uh, your wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro. Binder and filler are Nicaraguan. It's obviously done in the My Father factory. It's available in a petite 4.5 by 50, a Corona Gorda 5.5 by 49, a Robusto Grand 5.5 by 54, a Toro 6 by 52, and the Lancero 7.5 by 38. The Lancero and the Toro and the Robusta Grand, I had all three blends. So I had three of the five blends. That Lancero is so tasty and so awesome. I mean, my father really delivered awesome stick here again with that Oscuro wrapper. It gives it
yes.
it's not a harsher Nicaraguan flavor. It kind of mellows it out a little bit. Could be used for, I would call it medium. If you're a really beginner, I would get the smaller size for sure. Because what I noticed is some of the beginner
Yeah.
smokers tend to gravitate towards the bigger stick because they think that it's quote unquote for $1 more you get more tobacco. But sometimes more tobacco might leave it off balance or it might be too strong for you. But this cigar, it's available in 20 count
Uh-huh.
boxes. It's in regular production. Totally box split for sure. And if you get yourself on the
Mm,
Lanceros, they're box worthy. You got a couple more sticks?
nice.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I
I
got a
love
couple
how you
more.
keep
So
notes. I
the
love
next stick I
the
had,
note.
yeah,
What you got?
yeah. I need my next vehicle. My next vehicle, good. I'm gonna make sure it has a teleprompter in the windshield built
I'm
in.
working
That'd
well
be
with the,
nice.
Stogie Geeks. You know,
The next one,
we got to get a mobile studio. There you go.
there you go. Yeah, I was telling Mark earlier, just so you know, that I'm gonna have to call Jerry Seinfeld and see if I can get a cigars and cars segment, going,
Then
and
do a thing. Yeah,
because he
right,
has a
right.
coffee
Either that or get a
convenience and
backdrop
cars.
so no one knows you're in the car. That'd be funny. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
right,
I think it's great.
right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? I think it's great. But
Yeah.
what's you have a couple more sticks.
So here we go. I got into
Let's
the
burn through them.
Yeah. So the next one I got into that I have not smoked in a while. I'm gonna say at least it's been about 3 to 4 years. Was a Diamond Crown Julius Caesar cigar.
Oh
It is named
yes.
after
Yeah.
Julius Caesar, J.C. Newman, founder of J.C. Newman Cigar Company. Like all Crown Julius Caesar cigars are produced at Tabacleria Fuente in the Dominican Republic. The blend uses an Ecuadorian Havana seed wrapper, a Dominican binder, and a Caribbean basin and Central American fillers aged for 5 years. So this cigar was created to celebrate the 115th anniversary of J.C. Newman Cigars. and the 135th birthday of J.C. Newman. The business has been in the same family for over 100 years. Just a little history on that. So I got my hands on a 1895 Perfecto. Again, a Toro or a Fuente Tabacaleria, wrapper, Cuban Havana, binder, Nicaraguan, and then filler, Honduras, uh, uh, Central American fillers. So I lost my notes here. So the cigar is something to look at. Definitely, it's got a Perfecto shape. I don't really smoke a lot of Perfecto shaped cigars. I've seen them. I look at them. They look kind of like they're wrapped up a little tight. So I guess I get a little intimidated with that. And so I always want a nice, easy draw on something. But this, for being that the way it was shaped and the way it's wrapped, it actually was easy. Uh, the smooth wrapper with no visible seams. The light blue of the band really pops against the wrapper, and it's kind of a reddish, darkish, tannish brown, and so it really looks really nice. Again, I like the bands, so I look at the band, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. So, anyways, first third, a little tight in the beginning, but nothing difficult. The deep sweet notes mixed in with some cedar. Didn't get any spice, not really anything really to talk about there. Uh, but it was very easy on the retro with some nice floral notes. That I love. And so that right there, I kind of understood the complexity of this cigar in that nature for me. Uh, the second third begins again, not with too much change, so it doesn't transition crazily or overstating something in the tobacco or the flavor. And then just it kicked in a little bit, so the strength definitely woke up. Uh, but still getting the sweetness out of that. The cedar did started to kind of wind away, and so at that point, I was just enjoying the notes for the cigar. Had it after dinner. I think I waited about 25 minutes, and I could not wait anymore because I knew what I had, and so I wanted to really get inside that cigar. The final third turned into a strong espresso, which I like to drink after dinner. So, but instead of drinking, this cigar came full round, and I didn't have to go to my espresso machine and make one. And I'm not saying that it woke me up, but you know what? It was just enjoyable. I didn't want the cigar to end. At the sweetness had faded out a bit more. The nuttiness has joined the espresso, and man, it finishes out to a nice medium uh, relaxation and getting you ready for the evening. Getting ready to go to bed.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so for me, man, uh, this one right here, I definitely would share this. So it'd be a box split for me. It's an expensive cigar, but it's enjoyable, definitely.
Nice. Can you repeat it again for the listeners so that they don't have to rewind back? The name of it, not the whole review. What's the
Yeah,
name
it's
of it?
a diamond.
The
Yeah,
Diamond Crown. Yep, I got it. Julius Caesar.
yeah, it's
I
a
got
diamond crown. Julius
Julius
Caesar,
Caesar.
1895, and the one I smoked was a Perfecto.
Yep. I was a little distracted when you gave the name because the owner Juan just handed
Uh-huh.
me a Monte Cristo #2 Cuban, and he winked at me and said, "Here you
Yes.
go." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna wrap up Stogie Geeks right now. No, I'm only kidding, right? I'm out. But yeah, so yeah, well, I'm having a blast over here. But so your review was the Julius Caesar, and you gave that a box worthy, right? Box worthy, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Box
box
worthy.
worthy, definitely. But I would box split with a friend of mine if they wanted to endeavor that with me.
Heck yeah, that's a great smoke. They actually have a lot of those here in South Florida. Julius Caesar, Placencia,
Uh,
a lot of JC Newmans here, a lot of
Placencia, yeah.
boutiques down here too. It's so cool. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this. This was sent to us by La Gloria Cubana. They always send us a bunch of sticks. They send us a care package here at Stogie Geeks. It's the La Gloria Cubana Spanish Press. Now, this Spanish Press cigar, it's named after the techniques where they place the cigar into trays and dividers immediately after rolling. It's placed into boxes, so it's designed so that the cigars keep their shape. It's available in a Robusto 5.5 by 50. It's available in a Toro 6.5 by 52, in a Press Gigante, which is a 6 by 60. They're all available in boxes of 20, so it's available in 3 sizes. And let me tell you something. This uses a Nicaraguan jalapa wrapper, a Mexican San Andreas binder with 4 fillers, Brazilian Maltafina, Dominican with Piloto Cubano, as well as some Nicaraguan fillers. So it's got 4 different fillers in there. This cigar, I had this in the Robusto in the Toro size. This cigar is completely amazing, and this cigar is like in that $7.50, $8 price range. You can get it online. You can get it at your local retailer if they're really into Gloria Cubana. Awesome stick. It came out this May, and you should definitely seek this stick. I am like all over the stick. It's so tasty. It's so flavorful. It's not really strong, even though it has some of that Nicaraguan with the 4 fillers, kind of give it that balance, especially with the wrapper.
Yeah.
In the in the Mexican San Andreas binder. But let me tell you something. I would go box split on this. It's definitely over a $5. Doesn't break the bank. You're going to enjoy these sticks. You can even qualify these sticks like if you're going to a cookout, because they're actually smaller within the Robusto size, right? Because that Robusto is only 5.5 by 50.
Yeah.
So when you go to a party and you got 45 minutes because you don't want to take 2 hours to smoke a stick, maybe you even give one away because it doesn't break the bank. They're
Right.
not going to be disappointed. Awesome cigar, La Gloria Cubana Spanish Press. Definitely go out and get them for sure. You have one more, and I have one more.
Nice.
Is that correct?
That's it.
Oh, you're all done?
Yeah. I'm gonna choose between the 2. I got 2 more here.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna choose. I don't think we did the CAO Flathead V19 that came out this year with the IPCPR.
Yep.
The original Flathead debuted back in 2013 using a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper over a Nicaraguan binder. The fillers were Dominican Republic and Nicaraguan, but they developed General cigars. General cigars. They ramped this one up. I mean, for this version. So this one here is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. The binder was Connecticut Habano. The filler Dominican, Piloto Cubano. So you just had that in your last cigar, I believe.
Yep.
Nicaraguan, Estel Condega, and Jalapa.
Yep.
I had a 5.5 by 50, medium full. Price point on this one's about between $12 and $14, I guess. Again, just depending on where you're at. But man, this was I've tasted a couple of the CAO line. But this is one that I thought it was worthy to talk about, and it is also, like I said, been revamped. And this comes in a camshaft 5x5 50, what I had, and then a V19 6x60. It's called a carb V19. The one I had is I guess a camshaft V at 19. There's a lot of names here, a lot of descriptions in the names, and it's something I'm wading through when I'm making my notes. But at the same time, I want to give our Stogie Geeks listener as much details as I can. So this cigar taste notes. Here we go. Strong notes of dark cocoa, floral, sweet elements, malt, luscious creaminess, smokiness. One guy even put there like a cafe a latte, black pepper, cedar, and some mineral barnyard. For me, I'm going to tell you right now, the dark cocoa definitely, a little bit of the floral, and as far as the other stuff goes, black pepper and cedar definitely. Other than that, that's what I got out of it in my palate. The cold draw does present a dark chocolate, and you definitely get the red pepper and the cedar. I read this other guy's. One of my buddies sent me something. He was telling me he tasted like black licorice. So I was like, oh, okay. So again, just to let you know, this stick, a well rolled cigar. Each puff is very well received. Uh, it's it's a little weighty, and I'm glad I smoked the one I smoked, because the other one is about a 2.5 hour smoke, and there's no way I have time for that right now, or in the last week. But definitely the spiciness. Man, it really kicked in, and in the back of my throat when I retro hell, man, you can definitely you get the peppery, you get the a little bit of cinnamon element coming through, uh, and, man, it's just like I said, it's a full medium, medium to full. Um, this stick is absolutely complex, but it's bold, it's beautiful, and it's just one of those cigars that I think that we all should get into. And I would say on this one right here, I would definitely give it a fiver, just to give it a try, and then from there, you you know aging it in your humidor for a little bit, and then come back to it and see what that does for you. So
yeah, I'm kind of glad you mentioned the CAO flathead. Yeah, I'm kind of glad you mentioned the CAO flathead and you gave it a fiver. I'm not ready to review it quite yet, but I got my hands on the CAO session.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa, this is different. This is a different cigar. I'm not at the liberty to even give it a review yet, because I was like, I need to smoke this while I'm not working, because I did smoke it when I was working, and I was like, whoa, this is different. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting a bunch of different tastes from it, and I want to kind of assess it there. But yeah, CAO, I used to be such a fan of the brand, and I really hope that they kind of, I don't want to say make a comeback at all. I just really hope that they got their things going now that the original CEO left, and they had a little bit of a downswing, and hopefully that they're coming back up now. So yeah, I'm seeking out some more from that brand. I've always been a fan of CAO.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that session cigar, I had that as well, and I agree with you on that one, man. When I had that, what was that?
No, it's crazy. It's a crazy cigar. Do me a favor, for the next episode 306, try to have a review for that. I'll do the same, so we can both kind of talk about it on a more a more prepared basis, for sure.
Comparison,
definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so this CAO Flathead V19 again, just letting you guys know out there, it's 2,350 boxes were produced. Boxes of 20 were produced, so that's only 47,000 cigars. So I definitely would get out there and try this cigar. I believe it. You will not be disappointed. And it's definitely something that I feel that all the Stogie Geek listeners, if you like this medium to full body cigar, this is one way you can definitely try it out. And like I said, it's not overpowering, but at the same time, you'll enjoy all the flavors that you experience off of your palate on this one.
Awesome. Looking forward to to getting into more of the Ciellos for sure. The last stick I want to talk about is the La Polina Nicaraguan Oscuro. I love this stick. It's salty on my palate. Like, I pick up a big salt component. Love that Oscuro wrapper. So it's salty first to me and then tasty. It's available in the Oscuro Gordo 6x58. It's available in the Oscuro Robusto. I had that size, which is 5x52. And then I also had the Oscuro Toro, which is 6x50. In regards to wrapper binder filler, it is an Ecuadorian Oscuro. Wrapper and binder are from Nicaragua. La Polina definitely delivered this stick. This stick and the Mr. Sam are really like one of my two favorite La Polina sticks for sure. I would give this box worthy all day. It's available in boxes of 10. I'm sorry, it's available in boxes of 20. It's in regular production. It doesn't break the bank. You're in that 850 to 950 total range.
Nice.
You know, so it's super good. It's super tasty, and definitely something that you want to seek out for sure. That was the La Polina Nicaragua Oscuro. So absolutely, it's a great stick there. So next week, Drew, we have a interview scheduled, and we're going to be doing some more sticks of the week. So the Stogie Geeks bus is alive and well and continuing, and we're going to have a huge fourth quarter push, and everything's going smooth. Your mobile studio is great. I'm sorry that we didn't have the van and the humidor shipped to Texas and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Next time, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, when I get home, I'm gonna have to steal my wife's rabbit air and stick it in my cabin, even though I got a nice cabin carbon filter in here.
It'll work it out. It all works out. Just drive real fast, the windows down. That's what I do.
Yeah, windows down. Yeah, let all my paperwork fly out. That happened to me 4 days ago.
That's crazy. So, Stogie listeners, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for coming and listening to episode 305. I am here at the Havana Republic Cigar Shop in Fort Lauderdale. Drew is clearly on the road out in Texas getting his work done. I want to thank Juan for his hospitality here. If you ever want to check out a cigar shop here in Fort Lauderdale, I think this is the place that you want to be. Try to come on a Friday and Saturday night. You will not be disappointed. They have an awesome DJ. You can even dance on the sidewalk if you want to. Super cool, you know? It's super cool. I want to thank our producers back home. I will be back in studio and back to work on Monday, and we'll see you next week on Stogie Geeks. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you. You guys have a good one. See you guys next time.
Take care.
All right, you too, buddy.
Drew.